Is Sal Paolantonio. We call him Sal Pal. He covers the Eagles as well as pretty much every team in the NFL. But the Eagles, I want to start with because they're the team that really started to shake things up in this draft with that 10th overall pick. They decided to go with DeVonta Smith, the wide receiver out of Alabama, and really threw a lot of people off. What did you make of that pick and how it really all came together with what they did with the Cowboys?
Well, I predicted that they would take DeVonta Smith if they were sitting down near that part of the draft. I knew that Jalen Hurts was whispering in Howie Roseman's ear. In fact, I think he was banging the table to get the Heisman Trophy winner from Alabama, get him some help on offense. He wanted to be reunited with his Alabama teammate. And all the scouts were telling Howie Roseman that DeVonta Smith was going to be a perfect match with Jalen Hurts. And I was told that Howie Roseman was at his son's Little League game on Wednesday night, and he was out in the left field stands by himself so that no one would hear him on the phone. I reported this morning on SportsCenter that he was on the phone trying to figure out how to get back into the top 10, knowing that the Giants were very interested in a wide receiver, either Waddle or DeVonta Smith, and that he would have to go back up into top 10 to maybe leapfrog over the Giants, and that's exactly what happened. When both J.C. Horn of South Carolina and Patrick Surtain II, the two corners, were off the board when the Cowboys were picking at 10, no one saw that coming, but when the Cowboys were picking at 10 and the Cowboys really wanted a corner, they were ready to dump out at 10, and the Eagles leapfrogged over the Giants. And Howie Roseman probably held his nose, knowing that he's going to get a lot of backlash from Eagles fans that he traded with the Cowboys, gave him a third-round pick in the process in order to get DeVonta Smith. So it was a decision that he decided to make, and he made it. And they did give the Cowboys a third-round pick, and the Cowboys went back and got Micah Parsons, a linebacker who they hope won't terrorize Jalen Hurts for the next 5 years.
All right, Sal, let's go from the NFC East to the AFC North. The Baltimore Ravens just came off the board. Their last pick, the second pick they had in the first round, and they go with Jason Owe, the defensive end out of Penn State, a guy who was a late bloomer, didn't start playing football until his junior year of high school. Huge freak numbers at Pro Day, Sal Pal. You surprised to see such a raw player coming off the board for Baltimore when they might have needed some offensive line help here?
Well, I don't know about offensive line help there, Michael. I know that they really wanted in the bottom half of the draft, when I talked to Eric DeCosta, the GM, they wanted a wide receiver, and they got one out of Minnesota because they really needed a guy who was rangy and tough and could run all the routes on inside the hashes and outside to help Lamar Jackson. And they got the wide receiver, and I knew that they wanted to get some edge rush help. Now, the Ravens delivered the blitz, 5 or more pass rushers, second most in the league. They were a terrorizing defense and really held that Ravens team in games when the pass game of Lamar Jackson faltered in certain games. So they wanted to build on their strength, get youth, and you talked about the freaky numbers, and they wanted to get younger. And I think that they were always going to go wide receiver and edge rusher, figuring that they could bolster their offensive line later in the draft.
Sal Pal, after the night concludes with Joe Tyrone going to the Bucs out of Washington, your thoughts overall from the night, your biggest surprise maybe from the evening?
Well, my biggest surprise from the evening was the Jets deciding to go from 23 to 14 to take an offensive lineman out of USC. I'm never in favor of making that kind of move over that length of the draft for a player that you probably could have gotten further down. I thought the Jets would have been better served to get Zach Wilson, Najee Harris. They could have stayed at 23 and got Harris before the Steelers got him. I think Harris is a total home run for the Steelers. And I'm surprised that the Jets went all the way up to 14. I realize they got to protect Zach Wilson, but to me, they really needed to get some balance on offense. That offense was an unwatchable nightmare last year. only scored 15 points, 15.2 points per game, last in the league. They needed guys who could get into the end zone. I know they did some things in free agency, but Harris, every time you turn on the tape, he is finding ways to get into the end zone, finding ways to get 6 points. And I thought he would have really helped Wilson with play action pass. That would have mitigated the pass rush. With RPOs, that would have mitigated the pass rush. The wheel routes, getting him out of the backfield, that would have mitigated the pass rush. You could have employed Najee Harris in so many ways. They needed a one-cut runner for Mike LaFleur's offense for the stretch run play. I mean, they really could have used Najee Harris or Travis Etienne, who was taken not soon after by Jacksonville. And I thought that was a terrific pick by Jacksonville, getting Trevor Lawrence and Etienne back on the same team after playing in college with so much success together. So I was surprised the Jets did that. I really was.
Certainly. All right, Sal Pal, we know you've been grinding all day long on this draft, so we appreciate you so much hanging out with us and giving all of that incredible insight. Thank you.
Wait a minute, that's it? Now I can go to the refrigerator and get a piece of lasagna before I go to bed? Is that what you're saying? I'm
Yeah, baby.
good, okay?
Put the pajamas on.
Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Get the dessert and chill out for a little bit, and we'll probably see you for round 2 tomorrow.